Hello and welcome to Some Grub. It's our 1 year anniversary. Today we're going to be a bit adventurous. I saw on social media there's a way of doing a Chicago deep base pizza on the braai. I'm going to give that a go and guarantee you we're in for some fun because I've never done this before. What's different with Chicago deep base pizza from any normal pizza is the maize meal that you put in. In America, in the States, they call it cornmeal. I'm imagining maize meal is the same thing because it's the same food, right? Yeah, so the base is going to be some oil, salt, a little bit of sugar and water for the yeast, then the cornmeal, and then 3 cups of bread flour. Then you're going to mix that through, knead it, let it rise, and then it's going to be filled with salami at the bottom. And then we're going to mix a nice tomato sauce to finish it all off. And it's going to be cooked in this. Okay, to start things off, I'm going to add 1 1/4 cups of water to the bowl, or to a bowl. And then I'll add 2 teaspoons of sugar. Then I'm going to add 1 sachet, or that's about 10 grams of yeast, instant active yeast. Sprinkle that in. Give it a nice stir, and this is going to start activating the yeast. Put this to one side to do its thing. Then get a bigger bowl, and this is going to take the dry ingredients. I've got some brown, traditional unbleached stone ground flour. It's very, very good quality flour, and some salt, super maize meal, which in South Africa is cornmeal. Well, I hope it is cornmeal. I'd rather go under on the flour. I'd rather the dough be a little bit wet than too dry, because it's way easier to add flour at the end than to add water. Water makes things complicated towards the end, so I've put in, I think it's just a little bit over 3 cups of flour. And I'm going to add the cornmeal now. See, this is not yellow. As you can see, it's not yellow inside. This is very much... This is what we use in South Africa to make pap and stuff. Anyway, let's see. Get a bit of a... That's about right. You see, it's not quite yellow cornmeal, but it's definitely maize that we grow in this country. It's white here. Let's see how it tastes by the end of the video. Alright, next is 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. It's about half. You don't want to put in too much salt because salt is not a friend of yeast. Get too much salt will kill the yeast. Okay, we're going to mix the dry ingredients. Make sure it's all evenly spread inside. Make sure the yeast hits every spot in here. So now I'm going to add the olive oil. I'm going to start off with 1/2 cup. And then add the water and the yeast with the sugar. Now I'm going to start mixing. is nice whole wheat Chicago pizza base dough. Boom. Now, I want to get a slightly smaller dish to put this in. Right, now we've got another one here. It's quite high. So I'm going to line this with olive oil and then put the dough in, and it's going to rise. It's going to rise until I'm done watching the Formula 1, which is in about 2 hours' time. Alrighty. After 2 hours, have a look at that. It's like more than doubled in size. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take this and see if it fits in this pot over here. This is a flat-bottomed cast iron pot. It's already looking very big compared to that. This is going to be a challenge. This is going to fit in there and it's going to get flattened, and we're going to have to take the dough up the sides. So take the olive oil. Very generous with it. Right. And then we're going to Then we're going to work the dough a bit to try and get it as thin as possible. Okay, now we're going to put on the lid, and this is going to rise just a bit more, and while we do that we're going to get going with the tomato sauce. So I'm putting pot on medium to high heat, and I'm going to throw in some olive oil, just enough just to sweat out the onion, and then I'm going to add garlic, some herbs. Okay, just as it starts to kind of look dry, the onions are like nice and translucent. Just as things start feeling dry, I'm going to start chucking in the tomatoes. Now I'm going to use Serena Italian chopped tomatoes. That in there. Then I'm going to chuck in a tub of tomato puree. So we're now going to let the tomato blips away for about 20 minutes. And once this is done, it means the fire should be done, and it means the pizza base will be ready to go on the fire. Alright, it's been half an hour. This is how the dough looks, which is perfectly fine. I'm just going to push it down again and get it up around the sides. Then, now comes the filling. So like it's a healthy meal already, I'm going to put in some Hungarian salami, or we just call it salami here, and then slices of white cheddar is going in. It's a rich meal, but hey, it's winter and we feel like braaiing and not the usual braai, so this is going in. So as you can see, it's getting a bit late, and I've got the Chicago deep dish pizza in the pot. I'm now going to go to the fire. I don't have my tripod, so I'm going to try and MacGyver a bit of the thing. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to make sure I'm using this heat source for the bottom of the pot. I'm going to just pull it flat. And get this brick in here. And then another brick. It's hot. It's very hot. Like that. Should hold the pot. Like that. Oh, this MacGyvering. Okay, let's try and get the... There we go. Don't want that to fall down, and it's going to get very hot. And now I'm going to load the top with briquettes. And let's hope it doesn't burn. We are struggling to get this out of the pot. That's what we didn't foresee. I'm very impatient. We're hungry. I'm going to cut slices out of this and serve it. So let's hope it's all lekker. Not bad. Oh! Let's go for it. We're so nearly in Chicago right now. Can't quite live up to those pizzas, well, not that we've been there, but could have maybe done with a crunch. Let's call this Bushveld Bushveld deep dish pizza. Thank you for watching Some Grub. Please click the like button and subscribe if you want to see some more tasteful videos. We're going to be doing these a lot more. Please stay tuned.